This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz, and I'm very excited to be speaking with Nicolette Robinson about Day of the Fight. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. Can you tell me what drew you to this film and this role?
Oh man, yeah. I've excuse the sounds by the way. I'm in New York City and the the cars are like real close. Um, Day of the Fight. Yeah, I actually auditioned for it about 9 months before I got the job. I had made a self-tape for it. I fell in love with the material. I knew that Michael Pitt was attached. Who doesn't want to work with Michael Pitt? And that Jack Houston wrote and directed it, and that Joe Pesci was attached. And so I had a little bit of information about it, but they had just sent me the scenes, and they were so the scenes were so deep and rich and layered and had so much within just these single scenes that you were meeting these characters and you felt like you knew them for years, even though you were just dropping in on one present day moment. Anyway, I had made the self tape. I found out that I didn't get the job because that the director loved me was what I was told, but they had to move on because they were going to try and find a name for the role. And I never really forgot about it because it was just there was something about the writing and the characters and the relationships that just really stuck with me. So every few months I would sort of check on IMDb Pro and try to figure out what lucky actor got that job. And I was 9 months later finishing the project Woman of the Hour. I was shooting in Vancouver, and I couldn't stop thinking about that film. It just kept popping into my head, and I was like, that's the kind of project that I'm hoping to work on next if I had my choice. And so I brought it up to my agent and I said, "Do you remember that self-tape that I made um 9 months ago, Day of the Fight?" And she was like, "That's so weird that you brought that up because it literally just came across my desk today. They're going back into production." And I was like, "Oh my God, can you send me the script?" Because I never got to read the full script. She sent it to me, but with a caveat that, she heard that they had offered the role that I wanted to another actor already. And so I read the script and I wept when I got to the end of it. I just was so moved and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so I I'm trying to get in the practice of telling other artists when they really move me because I know how much it means to me. And so I because I couldn't stop thinking about it, I just started writing a letter to Jack because I wanted to tell him how much I loved this project and why I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then I saw he was on Instagram and I sent him a DM, well, about four messages worth of DMs, and basically just poured my heart about how much I loved his work and I wished him the best of luck. And I said, I hope that we can collaborate on something in the future. And then the next day, he wrote me back and everything moved so quickly. And immediately we were um, then setting up a Zoom to have a meeting and uh, the stars aligned magically and he was like, this is crazy because the actor that we had is no longer available. The dates are not working out. And he was like, and I never forgot your self tape. And I can't believe that you reached out to me. And it was just a wild, crazy stars aligning story. And he really fought to get me in this role. So I'm so grateful. Anyway, that's my very long-winded, but truly like fateful and um uh, it's a incredible story that I'll never forget. How I made it on this film.
I'm really glad that it worked out. I'm curious how you think Jack's experience as an actor informed the way that he writes characters and how he directs.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jack is first of all, he's such an incredible actor. I've been such a fan of his for a while, and I don't even really think I realized how much of a fan of his I was because I think he's so transformative. You don't even sometimes recognize him. And So I think, the fact that he's such an incredible, empathetic, um, transformative actor, he understands what goes into creating really um, multifaceted, layered characters, which I find most interesting. Um, and and he's had film around him his entire life, having his grandfather and then so much of his extended family in film. He's just, I think it's just ingrained in his bones, and he's got such a love and a passion for film. He knows so much about film, and he loves it, that it shows. It's palpable on set when you're with him. You just like know that you're in good hands with him.
How was the experience of working opposite Michael?
The best. I mean, he Michael Pitt is one of a kind actor for sure. I think before I worked with him, I hadn't been like super familiar with his work. I mean, I knew his face and I'd seen, known of him. But I did a really deep dive into just some of his work, really mostly at first just on YouTube, just like getting the like highlight reels of his work. And the thing that I noticed about him is that he everything is in his eyes. Like he is just so present and so grounded and so it's like he's like looking so deep into your soul. And so for me, like my I knew that that had to be my approach with him, because especially because we had to play characters who have known each other for many, many years and have a very complicated and long relationship. And so when you first meet our characters together, you have to believe that we've just known each other forever. And so I was very intimidated starting working with him, but from the moment I met him, he's just such a present and loving and grounded human being. And so he immediately made me feel comfortable, and we just luckily clicked. Um, doesn't always happen, but we immediately clicked, and I think he's probably one of the greatest scene partners I've ever worked with. You just never feel like you have to pretend with him. You just are. You just get to be, and he is a very generous actor as well. So I mean, I could go on and on and on about working with him, but yeah, I'm so grateful to have had that chance to work with him that closely.
I appreciate your passion for this role in this project, and this is what I found also from Jack and Michael speaking to them, and from Ron Perlman. And it's nice to see, that it's not just one person like this is something I really enjoyed. It's that everybody is so involved in this and so proud of the work that they did.
Oh yeah, I mean, everyone down to like every member of the crew on set, you just could feel everyone's love and passion for this project and how much everybody wanted this to be um, something special. And so I mean, the fact that Joe Pesci agreed to doing this film, that speaks a lot. I mean, he's incredible in it as well. The whole cast, it's Jack likes to say, we've been, talking about the film a lot lately, and one thing I've heard him say quite a bit is that his grandfather taught him that 90% of making a film is casting, which, um whether I mean, I personally think that there's um a lot that goes into making something really special, which I know he acknowledges as well. But to me, being a part of this insane group of actors is just like mind blowing to me, and a great, great honor.
Mentioned another project that also involves, say, a first-time director who previously was known for acting, and that I think, like this, has been sort of around for a while. I know I saw Woman at the Hour at Toronto over a year ago, Can you talk about that experience? And I just a very different, I think, tonally from this film, certainly.
Yeah, very different tonally, similar in the sense that it was also a film that um the set felt so passionate and focused from every person that was on the set. It was such a pleasure working on it, even though the storyline and the premise and all that happens in it is incredibly dark, and my character Laura goes through quite a harrowing experience throughout the whole thing, but it was a joy to film because um there was just such a love and passion for making this film from everybody. And Anna Kendrick is incredible. She is a force for sure. I mean, talk about, for me, this film, Woman of the Hour and Day of the Fight, they're my two first, you know, significant roles in film. And I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything else to pull from really, but this experience getting to work on these two films as my sort of introduction to film has been such a gift because you have two incredibly passionate, strong leaders as directors, and yeah, and the cast was amazing. It just was like I just feel very lucky. But I loved working on working on Woman of the Hour, and then leading into going straight into Day of the Fight just felt I just had to count my blessings every moment.
Well, what do you have planned next, whether it's film, TV, theater?
I have nothing planned. I am like I really I've really loved working in film, and I hope that I get the chance to continue to do it. I'd love to go back to the theater someday. But yeah, I hope that some filmmakers and creatives that I respect and love see Day of the Fight or Woman of the Hour and get inspired to want to collaborate on something in the future. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, since this is awards buzz, I'm always curious the people I'm talking to. What have you seen recently, a film or a performance that's really sticking with you as one of your favorites?
Mm. You know what I actually just saw is Nickel Boys. I saw a screening of it. I don't think it's out yet. No, but Nickel Boys was really beautiful. I mean, I think that the direction was incredibly artistic and beautiful. It was very striking. The cinematography was so striking. It's a very interesting take, the way that they actually like talk directly to the camera, and then the actors, the performances were really beautiful and really grounded. And I mean, it's a heartbreaking story, but really a beautiful, unique film.
Well, I look forward to seeing whatever it is you do next, and I appreciate your passion and enthusiasm. And thank you so much for speaking with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you.